Alright, so with character creation kind of out of the way, the basics at least, I was going to show you guys some of the terms I was talking about as far as advantage and the dice notations and stuff like that. So all the dice that you're going to use, down here on the bottom left, you should have this little icon if you have digital dice enabled. And if you click it, it'll give you all the different dice notations. Each of these is basically just based on how many sides it has. So your D20 has 20 sides, D12 has 12 sides, etc., etc., all the way down to D4. D100's a little weird. It basically just rolls 2D10 and then makes one number out of the two results. But that's the only one that's any different. But if you use the digital dice, it'll do it for you. On the sheet, most of the stuff you want to worry about is going to be a D20. So any ability check, or saving throw, or skill check, or attack roll is going to be a d20. So if I ask for, say, give me a intelligence check, well, your intelligence is 16 plus 3 modifier. You can either, if you have physical dice, you can roll it yourself, roll the d20, add your intelligence modifier, which is plus 3. Or if you want to use the digital dice, you can just click on the button in the intelligence score box, and it will roll it for you. You got 13 plus 3 from your intelligence modifier for a 16. That's your intelligence check. Saving throws, same thing. It's already calculated for you on the sheet. If you want to roll it digitally, you just click it, and that will roll for you. You got 16 plus 5, 21. Or if you want to roll physical dice, you just add plus 5. The skills work in the exact same way. Each one of these is clickable, so you can click any one of them and it'll roll it for you. 7 plus 4 is 11 for my investigation check. And that's just so you know, when I say dexterity saving throw, that's what I'm talking about. Deception, investigation, perception check, that's what I'm talking about. Ability check, like intelligence check, that's what I'm talking about. And then if I say, okay, roll to hit, if you want to roll to hit with your dagger, this is what you have to hit. This is also clickable. You just click it, it'll roll, it'll give you the result. 15 plus 5 is 20, and that's what you get to hit. If that beats the armor class of your target, then you hit. So like my armor class for this character is 14. If you rolled a 20, you would hit me because 20 is more than 14. Once you hit, then you can roll your damage based on whatever your weapon type is. Your damage is going to be different, so daggers are 1d4, rapiers are 1d8, short bows 1d6, and that's what you roll whenever you do the damage. And then it already adds whatever modifier is pertinent. So in this case, it's our dexterity modifier because we're using dexterity-based weapons, or at least finesse weapons, which can use strength or dexterity, your choice. Most of the time, rogues want to use dexterity because they're quick and nimble, not necessarily very strong, like in my case. So if you want, you can just click this. It'll roll it for you. You get a 3 plus 3 from your dexterity is 6. You do 6 points of damage. Now, when you have advantage on something, that just means that you take the d20 and you roll it twice, and you take the higher of the two results. So say you have advantage on your attack, okay? So you can either roll 2d20 yourself and take the higher result and add 5, or if you want, you can right-click that and then go advantage and then roll, and it'll roll 2d20, and it'll tell you which one's the higher result. In this case, the higher result was 8 plus 5 is 13. So with advantage, you've got a 13 to hit. If you were coming against me, I have an armor class of 14. That would not hit because 13 is less than 14. You have to meet or beat that number in order to succeed. If you have advantage on a saving throw, like we have advantage against being charmed, being an elf, so we would have advantage on, say, our wisdom save against being charmed. You can go advantage and then roll, and it will roll the 2d20, and it will give you the higher result, in this case 12 minus 1 because our wisdom isn't good. So our saving throw for wisdom against being charmed was 11. In the case of a critical hit, which is when you roll a d20 on the die to hit, that's an automatic hit and is called a critical hit. That means you do double damage. What I typically do for double damage is you roll the die, say you're attacking with your dagger, 1d4. You roll the die, you double the result, so 2 times 2 is 4, and then you add the modifier, plus 3 for dexterity, so 4 plus 3 is 7. You just did 7 points of damage. What you can do, it's completely up to you if you want to have this do it all for you, is you can right click this and do critical damage, and then roll, and it will add the two results together and then add the modifier to give you the total. So 4 plus 2 plus 3 is 9. Now the cool thing about D&D Beyond is when you roll a crit with your to hit, it already changes this damage to 2d4. So if you land on a 20 when you roll this digitally, this will update and say 2d4 plus 3. So you can just go ahead and click that and it'll roll it as a crit, which is kind of neat. The only other thing that automatically succeeds on a d20 roll is saving throws. So if you roll a dexterity save and you roll a natural 20, no matter what the difficulty class is, that's going to be an automatic success as well. And yeah, that's it for the dice rolls and advantage. Let's talk about disadvantage real quick. It's the exact same, except you take the low roll. So if you have disadvantage on the attack, you can click this, you roll, it'll give you the two results, whichever is the lower, in this case 11, plus your modifier, in this case it's 5, is 16. So with disadvantage you get a 16. If you use physical dice, it's the same. You roll the 2d20, and then you take the lower, and then you add the modifier. But if you want to do it digitally and have it all done yourself, then you just do that. Ooh, 7. Nice. And yeah, that's it for that. Let me know if you have any questions.